In this short 3-minute video, I'm going to go through the challenges that you face with losing weight if you're in your 30s and 40s and how to overcome them. Let's look at some of the lifestyle factors. You may have a busy or stressful career. The 30s and 40s is when you're really pushing hard. A lot of people also have young children hanging around, and this can definitely place a lot of stress on you as well. All of these can affect your sleep, and that is a key part of weight loss. When you're sleeping enough, you're much more likely to be able to lose weight, and these habits are needed to achieve it. So let's talk about sleep, since not enough of us put sleep high on our priority list, even when we can get enough. The good news is a measurable physiological decline in our sleep does not seem to occur until we hit our 60s. So if you're in your 30s or your 40s, you should still hold the ability to get good quality sleep. By promoting healthy sleep habits and making it a priority. Things like aiming to get 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, keeping a steady sleep schedule whenever possible, which means not sleeping in too much on the weekends, getting up within half an hour of your wake up time during the week, even if you feel like you need to. Some other tips are to reduce your caffeine intake, and especially in the 4 to 6 hours close to bedtime. Remember, caffeine has a half-life of 5 hours, so at least that long before you go to have one in the early afternoon at the absolute latest. Trying to avoid blue light devices for at least an hour before bed. Basically anything that interferes with your preparation for sleep can affect the quality of your sleep as well. So how does this affect weight loss? So how do you benefit from this? Think about how you feel when you're tired. Are you really looking forward to your next workout? Give it all if you're able to get to the gym. Feel like you're making progress throughout your sessions, and even more importantly, and maybe something you didn't relate to, poor quality sleep, are you making the right nutrition choices? Are you eating high calorie, high fat, high sugar comfort foods? Because I certainly do. I'm much more likely to make those kinds of choices when I'm tired than when I'm well rested and feeling energetic. So as you can see, sleep helps you make better choices and helps you establish better habits. A big part of weight loss in your 30s and 40s is the management of carbohydrates, since it does appear that we start to experience a reduction in our tolerance for carbohydrates as we get older. This affects our body to a lesser or greater extent. Someone who's always been very lean will probably have fewer issues with carb tolerance, but they may experience a slight decrease as they get older. What we recommend for our clients in general is to reduce their carb intake. And this doesn't mean to cut out carbs completely. It doesn't even necessarily mean what most people consider low carb. It just means a tiny bit fewer carbs than you used to have in your 20s. So if you're not managing your carbs correctly, then you're going to experience more cravings. And that means you're going to eat more, and overconsumption of calories is really what weight loss comes down to at the end of the day. Reducing your carbs in a controlled, progressive fashion helps you manage your appetite, particularly your appetite for more carbs, and it keeps cravings under control. Calorie intake itself should be decreased as you get older. Ideally, you'd be more precise with your macro content as you get older as well, making sure that you have enough fiber, which is really important for your digestion. As you get older, loss of muscle mass, what we call sarcopenia, can become an issue. If you don't take action actively to maintain it, you're going to lose half or to 1% of your muscle mass every year over 35. And having less muscle mass can translate to having less ability to burn calories, gaining weight faster, losing strength and body control, losing stability, getting injured easier, and having more backaches and pains, more aches and pains, particularly backaches, with daily activities, and eventually losing functional independence as we enter our elder years. But again, if you don't do anything about it. So what can we do to maintain our muscle mass as we age? As we get older, strength training 2 to 4 times a week helps maintain the muscle that you have, and even keep building it as you get older. Even people in their 70s and 80s are able to find to build muscle through proper resistance training, sound nutrition, and adequate recovery. Progressive resistance training as you get older makes a big difference in maintaining that muscle mass. It means that your body is more metabolically active, as muscle is more active than fat, thus burning more calories. And if you have more muscle, you're more likely to move around as well, and more importantly, move better, maintaining freedom and independence. You're more likely to be that energetic person who's more likely to run around everywhere and is able to expend more calories on a daily basis. Exercise, if you do it properly and give yourself enough rest, will give you more energy. And then that momentum builds and you're burning more calories and losing weight. Another huge point is to pay attention to injuries. Certainly, I think everyone should pay attention to injuries and imbalances in the muscle. Maybe you're working out and you just feel stiffness on one side, or you get a little bit of a twinge in your knee. These things do tend to appear more often as you get older, but it's more of an accumulation of a lifetime of bad habits that can become some bad news as you get older. So if you're careful about dealing with a tight muscle here or there, then you're less likely to get injured in the first place or have to take time off workouts altogether. As we get older, our bodies don't produce as much collagen. The protein that's found in your muscles, tendons, and which gives them elasticity, so injuries take longer to heal. So let's do our best to avoid them in the first place by catching things before they become a big problem, and ensuring we execute every rep of every set to the best form or technique possible. It also wouldn't hurt to have a qualified coach help you with your form and your programming. Another important thing to consider if you're trying to lose weight in your 30s and 40s is to get adequate protein. We need protein for muscle repair and building, and actually for the repair of every organ in our body. The normal recommendation is 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, or half a kilogram of body weight, and that's every day. And for those of you that are in their 30s, 40s or older, we can go higher on that range unless there is a particular reason why you can't tolerate protein or should not have a higher protein intake. The next tip is about recovery, rest and recovery. Keep in mind that you are what you're doing right now is building up to a better future. So when you're really tired, take the time to rest. It's all about setting priorities. You obviously have a lot of pressure, a tight schedule, competing demands, and things that just can't be worked around. But recognizing and cutting out these things that are less important and focusing on taking care of yourself has to become one of those non-negotiable things that you put into your calendar and respect. Take enough time to rest at night, make a safe environment to get the best sleep possible, respect your rest days from training to recover, stay active during the day so you can sleep better at night. All of these will add up to grant great results in your performance, muscle building and increasing strength. the weight loss will come naturally from that as well. So that's another benefit of taking it easy and recovering appropriately. There are people out there who are healthy and feeling physically strong in their 50s and 60s and 70s, and I want you to be one of those people as you move on in the years.